Shalom. Kol halalimla abanoa Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom. A hearty shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,001 May peace and blessings be upon you and your households. Excuse me. We're going home soon, Yasharallah. All right. The homesickness you've been feeling since you were a youngster, which I always felt, not feeling that I belong anywhere. It makes sense now when you come into the truth. We've been longing to go home. And we're going home soon, Lord willing. Abaratizah. Either way, if you're an Israelite, you're blessed, but you're even more blessed if you make it on the first trip into the chariots. Because there are our people that are covered by Yahweh Hashem Yashai's wings, if I may say it that way, they're gonna be deleted in a horrible fashion. Okay? Because we're coming to that time. But they'll be born as children in the kingdom through their loins of the elect 144,000 men, which are so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, known as today. But I wouldn't come under the banner of so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indian. I'm an Israelite foreigner, meaning that we got Jake scattered to the four corners of the earth. Wherever attractive women are, you're going to have Israelite seed there. Because Jake, as we all do, as Jake men, we love attractive women. So Isaiah 11:11, 11 and 12, second Exodus is going to be from the four corners of the earth, but ground zero, America. America is ground zero, which is the New Babylon, or daughter of Babylon, or Rome all over again. Hence the reason why you have the pyramid on the dollar bill. The obelisks, which is basically a rod, right? And all these other demonic examples that are scattered about through America. But once known as Sin City, Las Vegas, right? Where, even stand-up comedians like Mike Epps make a joke about it. Oh yeah, if you go to Vegas, you can, order, I think he didn't say in these exact words, but he said something along the lines of you can order a midget, a female midget, a prostitute or something, and a donkey, and that can be delivered at your doorstep or in your hotel room within minutes. I mean, that's pretty much all of America, but Las Vegas has certain rules and regulations and certain authorities and powers that be in the so-called underworld that would allow that kind of behavior, and that kind of behavior will be overlooked when it comes to drugs and other illicit kind of behavior. Okay, hence the reason why they call it Sin City. Okay, I said, is Las Vegas known as Sin City? Yes, Las Vegas is widely known as Sin City due to its long history of casinos, adult entertainment, and reputation for excess and hedonism. What's the definition? I don't even know what hedonism means. What is hedonism? What is a definition of hedonism? The pursuit of pleasure, sensual self-indulgence. Okay? Sensual self-indulgence. Definition of hedonism? Sensual self-indulgence. That's what it is. And I'm on Mr. Metal Leo's channel, okay, which I think he's an Ishmaelite, or Northern Kingdom anyway. And he's the one who goes around different parts of America saying, for lease, showing vacant lots and stores that are gone, which is a beautiful sight to see. Because we are seeing the demise of this world. All right. Let's read a scripture. Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient, Salakia. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. All right, so we're seeing the demise of this evil kingdom. Okay, the Lord is plucking up which was planted, paraphrasing a scripture there. So now I'm going to play the video, copyright, fair use. Okay, I'm not making no money out of this whatsoever. I'm just going along with the agenda displayed, and just Lord willing, read a couple of scriptures to coincide with what's being stated and being shown, Lord willing.
Man, you can even hear the crickets louder than the voices out here. So quiet. What do you think? Is that
I'm not going to play it long. I want to skim through it, get to the core parts. That's about it, you know.
busy enough for a weekend? Not really.
I mean, America in itself, the so-called white man's rulership in itself is Sin City in itself, okay? Because a great city is America, isn't it? As mentioned in the scriptures. And America in itself is sin. And the fact that they choose to call Vegas Sin City is a beautiful example of the demise of America, the demise of the so-called white man's power, known as the so-called white man's Esau Edom. All right. So we're seeing the demise. We're seeing people crash out. We're seeing people poor, and the people that are begging for the most part, 98% of the time, which I've seen, especially in the UK alone, are Edomites. You know, you go shopping, these motherfuckers come at you. Have you got some change? Have you got some change? They're begging. This is what they call. They're basically begging, trying to get a pound here, a pound there, so they can get their fix. You know, a fix of heroin or crack, whatever they're on. You know, and so we're seeing demise of it, and it's a brakti Yahweh Shai for that, man. All right, this is brings happiness to my heart. You know, granted, America was once a beautiful country, man, beautiful country, before the so-called white man put his dirty, stinking pigskin feet on there, right? But you know, and there are still parts of it that are beautiful, and you've got to admit the palm trees are beautiful. Okay, the sky looks beautiful, right? And this is it. Hell, how much more our kingdom when it's here on this planet Earth and beyond, right? We've got a lot to look forward to, man. A lot. Okay. I think about these crackers, man. I know that this time is up. They look out the window. They have no happiness coming for them. They have no rulership. A lot of these Edomites are saying, having crashing, are saying, "Oh, I don't want to be here no more. I can't find a job. I don't want to be here no more." And man, they're going to be crying the same thing in the kingdom. I'll be effing them up on a daily. And as Elder Apostle Tar would say, putting my foot in your ass sideways, right? Boy, it's lovely, man. I love this. Brakti Hawabasham Yashai. Damn devils, man. Hate you crackers.
I've seen it shoulder to shoulder, and it's not even close right now. Look at the sidewalks, they're empty on both sides.
This is the 25th of October. Let's see what day the 25th of October was. I think it was a Friday. What day was the 25th of October, 2025? It was a Saturday. Look at that. Mr. Metaleo went to Vegas, right, on the 25th of October on a Saturday. This is a Saturday. You know? Right? Friday, Saturdays are the core days in Western culture, so-called Western culture. Or mainly the weekend, you have your time off, right? Or you've got your days off or whatever. Look at that. No one's out and about. No one's out and about. This is a Saturday, by the way. You just it was what day was it? No, it said mid-October 2025. Salakia. Mid-October 20. He didn't specify the date. Let's see when he uploaded it. 6 days ago, which will be more than likely a Friday. Yeah, 6 days ago. So that's Saturday today. So 6 days ago will be like a Friday, right? Yeah. So this is like a Friday, Saturday. Yeah. Okay. Ghost towns. Man, I used to watch movies in the 80s coming up. You know, they used to have all these old signs like this cowboy like waving his thumb or whatever, or lit up. I forget the show's names. There's so many American shows back in the day we used to watch in the early 80s, mid 80s. Vegas was the place to go, you know. The mob ran it, you know, and the real mob is the Edomites at the top. They just use the mafia, the Italians as their scapegoat or as their mules because they know most Italians, so-called Italians, are for the most part, especially in America, are Southern Italian or from the southern borders or whatever, and they may need Jake, so they use Jake in different forms to put that dark cloud over them. You know, that's why when you hear movies or even watch shows like All in the Family, they demonize Italians, Hispanics, and so-called black people, and Irish too. You know, and for the most part, within those specific groups, there's a whole bunch of Israelites. All right, even though we're everywhere, but those core groups are mentioned all the time in terms of demonization, mockery, criminalization. They're all just a bunch of thugs and thieves. When the biggest thugs and thieves and murderers and deleters and faggots and weirdos and people kissing their dogs in the mouth, you know, all that other weird shit that they do. Who does all that? The so-called white man, Edomites. A dead ghost. Please, brother.
Well, I guess some people like it. They enjoy.
Hey, look at that. Okay. No one's gambling. Why? Because people ain't earning. You think people have got their last bit of disposable income? They're going to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to go there and chuck away $100 on gambling. I may not win. All right. You got to understand. Once these jobs and money is taken away, it affects everything. It's a snowball effect or a domino effect. Okay. As I say, a chain reaction. All right. Every action has a reaction, right? And the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yeshai is doing beautiful actions where this world is falling. Okay? And Barakta Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. All right? You can dress as retro as you want, drive retro cars, so-called retro cars, have a retro phone, have a damn pager, thinking that you're living in 1995. It ain't that no more. All right? I don't give a shit how much people say, oh, I want to go back, putting all these nostalgic videos on YouTube for a reason as well. Okay? All right? And that's being done by the powers that be. I can see what Esau's doing, man. Putting up all these movies, nostalgic movies. Even you got Gen Z saying that the movies in the 80s and 90s had more of a brightness and a vibrancy in the atmosphere and the glow of the picture and the movie, which is true. If you watch one of those coming of age type, romantic type, high school type movies, and I don't know, like Teen Wolf or Back to the Future or whatever, right? You watch it, you see the vibrancy in America, you see the glow, you see the you know, how everything was just popping, you know, everything was just so called lovely, right? All the so-called white man and Peggy Sue and Tommy had to worry about on a Friday night was getting their homework done on a Sunday and which, you know, who's Tommy going to take out? Tommy's going to take out Peggy Sue on a Friday, you know, borrow his father's Cadillac, you know, and try and get into her drawers, you know? That's all he had to worry about, think about all week, you know, and making the basketball team or the football team. All that shit's out the window.
Enjoy losing money because gambling at least you have to have some chances. But here the odds are against you. So if you enjoy losing money and enjoy inhaling secondhand smoke, this is the place for you.
Oh shit! So they're still smoking doors there in the states, do they? In certain places, the smoking indoors here in pubs and clubs and stuff was banned in 2007. Hmm. I guess. Oh yeah. All right. I just realized it's Sin City. Everything goes there. So I'm assuming other parts of America you can't smoke indoors, right?
Oh, and also I forgot, being a scam on every transaction. Yep, every transaction you come across is a scam. And they can add whatever they want into that receipt. They know they can get away with it because we can fee.
And look at the dress code as well, right? I went shopping last night, Friday night, and all that. Right, I went to the store to grab a few beers, bits and bobs of chicken and all that. Right, I saw two young ladies, they're probably about 16, 17 years old. They were playing a game on their mobile phones. I don't know, like playing hide and seek and shit. I don't know what game they were playing, right? I just asked me, playing a game? They said, yeah. And I just laughed it off. I thought, okay, the two young girls playing a game. They were children, right? Probably about 17, 18, well, 16, 17, right? And they were both wearing pajamas. Now, back in the 90s, when I was in my early 20s, we never even wore sliders or what you call flip flops outside, or or how we made sure that we dressed when we left the house. If we dress what we call comfortable, it would be like basketball shorts or a tracksuit, what you call like a jumpsuit or whatever, right? And that would be like on a workout day, on a very warm day to wear clothes like that. But for the most part, you'd be wearing jeans, Tims, sneakers, or you'd be wearing smart casual clothes, because it's all about looking sharp for the ladies, and you want to hit the street looking nice and feeling good about yourself, right? But look at these people. This is Vegas. This guy's wearing the shit that you wear around the house. You got people wearing pajamas. You got. I've not seen. I don't know about you guys. I haven't seen not one person dressed as you would if you're hitting Vegas, right? Or if you're hitting the high street. Look at that. That's another thing gone as well. I've seen people go to the store here in the UK at night, 8, 9 o'clock, and they're wearing their pajamas and their robes and their furry flip flops, or what they call house shoes. It's weird, man. It's like, people have like, I think what people usually do now is for escapism, they do what they're going to do outside and they just stay indoors and try and live in the world of the internet. So basically, they're trying to live a false dream, a false hope, trying to sort of like take their pain away by looking at old footage and old videos and um, um, you know and instead of men asking out women, men are watching porn more and jerking off to that instead of asking out a real live, beautiful, warm, sexy woman, right? And women, instead of like back in the 90s where women would be bold enough to approach you, which is a better way because men like choosing signals for the most part, right? Women, I don't know, as far as I know, don't do that no more. You know, not unless you go to a venue where it's full of women that are dressed up to the nines, like a club that are still popping. All right, I'm not in the club scene no more, of course. All right, because when women are dressed nice, they want to be approached because they feel good about themselves. They got their hair and makeup done. They got their clothes, they got their clothes right. But that atmosphere is just completely dead. Romance is dead. All right, R&B is dead. Music is dead. The mirth is gone. All right.
Or because we know you're not coming back for anything, and people will still take it. I see some food traffic out here, but look at this restaurant. Look at this restaurant.
Another bug out Edomite, spiritually knowing that his kingdom is over, he just knocked down the sign outside the restaurant saying, F yeah, leave me alone. It's a bug out Edomite.
Barely anybody here.
Yep.
Only 2 tables out.
No restaurants. Waiters and waitresses are not getting paid. Chefs are not getting paid. The proprietor is not getting paid. The manager or uh, uh, um, the maitre d, whatever you call them, all these kind of people are not getting paid, right? No money coming in. Staff are not going to get paid. Staff are not going to get paid. The rates and rents and bills are not going to get paid. Venues are going to close. Simple as that. A reaction has a reaction. May the Lord speed this up even more.
Out here, and it's really nice weather. It's 75 degrees now in October, but still, restaurants are really empty. Now this place looks exclusive.
Look at this. Look at this guy. I don't know whether this guy's a bum or whatever. Look at that. He hasn't got his shirt buttoned up right. He's got like the buttons mismatched. He's looking scruffy. He's got I don't know what the hell that is, a beer can or one of them monster type energy drinks. Eating some food, right? Or sitting on a stoop, all right? Back in Vegas. You wouldn't see this back in the day, 25, 30 years ago. You wouldn't see this, all right? The police will probably run the bums out because at the end of the day, they want the customers to have a great experience, especially when you visit Vegas, all right? Look at these buildings. They all look like Mount Seir, don't they? It's a beautiful example. Sin City is dying. America is dying collectively.
Now, one of the biggest attractions here on the strip is the Bellagio Fountain. Another block because of all these.
The Bellagio, man, that's a household name, isn't it? I mean, we've heard that name so many times in movies and shows and stuff. And those of you that visit Vegas, you know of the Bellagio.
Formula One decks that they're building up there. Can't see anything. Look at this restaurant. Nobody. A lot of foot traffic here on the sidewalk, but not in the restaurant. I see a few people inside, but not out here. There's a table there with somebody in it,
It's probably the owner.
but barely anybody.
It's probably senior staff having a break.
Now here's the Eiffel Tower.
And the real Eiffel Tower in real Paris is going through the same scenario, same as London, by the way. All right? The demise of this world.
But also not a lot of traffic here either. Really empty. Nobody getting drinks. Nobody at this restaurant here.
Yep, yep, yep. Let's get a scripture now. 1 second. The mirth of the land is gone, King James Version. Isaiah. Okay. Isaiah 24:9. Let's go there. They shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them, and that drink it. Right? A lot of people are drinking. They're drinking to take their sorrows away. All right? They're not drinking for happiness. They're not having sing songs like they do. You know? They're not doing none of that no more. All right? They're doing none of that no more. Verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. And that's literal. Okay? You got stores that are literally shut up, locked down, boarded up, painted up, and some homes, even in the UK and in the States, right? Stores and banks and shops and stores and malls are completely derelict, completely empty, right? You have just the past, the ghosts of the past just floating around there of how it used to be, all right? And you Google that same mall or same location 20, 25 years ago, you're going to see everything just lovely and popping and beautiful. Now you come back, fast forward to this time, it says completely dead. All right? There's crying for wine in the streets, all joys darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. All right? The mirth is all gone. All gone. All right? People try and sort of try and reignite it, you know? Oh, we're doing, Jakes are buying up certain malls and locations, saying that the first black mall or the first uh, uh, shopping center owned by so-called black people or whatever. Yeah, Jake gonna get some traffic there because even in the end, as this place goes, you can have certain Israelite areas of blacks, Hispanics, and natives, right? That are gonna be kind of lively, so to speak, because Jake likes to party, Jake likes to dress nice, because wherever Jake is, there's gonna be kind of a liveliness, right? Because wherever we set our feet, we make it great. We did that with Egypt, and we did it with America, with our innovation, and even in this and even though with America falling, there are certain locations where there's a huge Israelite population where things are going to be lively, but still, it's not as lively as it used to be. All right, the mirth is gone. All right, what's the definition of mirth? All right, I just want to give a correct definition. I don't want to just amusement, especially as expressed in laughter. I see people crashing out a lot. All right. There's crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened, the mirth, the expressed laughter of the land is gone. Verse 12. In the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. Okay? Destruction. El Finito. I don't know. I was gonna say Spanish El Finito. I don't even know what that even means. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. Let's go to the video. Feliz, Mr. Leo, you're doing a good job, man.
Nobody. What about this other one? Nobody sitting out here either. I see somebody going inside because the restaurant is definitely open,
Imagine that's gonna be in another year. Lord willing, we're not even here that long. Lord willing.
but nobody's sitting out here. I see some people at the bar.
Probably the owners. Looks like the owners.
Somebody just finished eating there. So at least they had one table there.
That's really gonna pay that bill, right?
Let's see this restaurant. 2 tables out here. That's it.
Speak to the old bag here, the old lady here. I mean, I shouldn't say old bag, but you know the old lady here, right? The old lady there. Speak to her. She'll tell you how it was in her day. They can give you a real contrast comparison. Speak to the older generation, people in their, I would say, 60s at least. All right, because at least 40 years ago, all right, early, late 70s, early 80s, they would know the world was a very different place. Very different place.
All this retail store, they're open, but only see a couple of people in there. Nothing really crazy. Over here too, it doesn't look busy. Yeah, I guess they are right. Vegas is slowing down a lot. People are getting drinks from that.
I mean, the video is pretty much the same thing. I mean, you can check it out yourself. He's got some good videos here, Mr. Meta Leo. All right, I'm gonna go to some scriptures now. I think what the point. All right, a couple of scriptures I want to go to. I've got NLT and uh, NLT and King James version, so I'm gonna read both. All right, the King James version and the NLT. Isaiah 13 and 11, which we get this spiritual game in the spiritual. We get this spiritual game in the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yashai B'Hashem Rakak from our apostles, elders, and teachers and prophets of Great Millstone. Okay, and one more thing, I urge you to subscribe if you're sincere about this. If you're bullshitting around, that's you, right? You can, that's on you. But if you're sincere, you really want to learn, right? And you want to learn the true name, which is Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. It's not Yeshua or Most High Christ Bless or Jebus. I'm saying Jebus because I don't want to say the Jesus heathenistic name. I'm not saying that shit. All right, it's not Yah, right? It's not Yude Vade, whatever, like that Elamite or who thinks he's a Jake was teaching so-called African Israelites that name. The guy who wore a breakfast bowl in his head. I don't think he was even a Jake, an Israelite foreigner. He's probably just an Elamite leading Jake astray, giving them wrong names of saying Yude Vade or whatever, some shit like that. Those of you know what I'm talking about, you know. Those of you that have been watching, the real name is, and it's not Ahia Asher Ahia, FGOCC. They're liars. Isaiah 13 and 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. All right. And the Lord is doing that. Okay. That scripture is self-explanatory. Let's go to the NLT. I, the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai, will punish the world for its evil. And the Lord is doing that slowly but surely. Barakti Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai. And how much more as time will progress. I, the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahshai, will punish the world for its evil and the wicked for their sin. I will crush the arrogance of the proud and humble the proud of the mighty. It's like it, and humble the pride of the mighty. Okay? The mighty was a so-called white man in this world, and the powers that be. And the Lord is humbling them. They're shit scared. They can come on in front of the camera, coked up, or whatever kind of drug they're taking, try and be, we're gonna do what we want to do. We don't care about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives. We're gonna lock you up. You're criminals, blah, blah, blah. But for a fact, these crackers, Trump and all that, and these so-called elites, right? Trump's just a puppet. That bitch queen that just died or allegedly died, that faggot King Charles or whatever, right? Edom might say its own kith and kin, We're chucking eggs at him. People don't care about this world no more. Your own don't like you, devil. Right? And the Lord is bringing you down. From the days of when Queen Elizabeth, the bitch, became a queen in 1954, her coronation. Watch the coronation. Everybody's waving Union Jack flags. You know, you could hear in the background. Now, when this flag, King Charles became a king, nobody's doing none of that. People are chucking eggs at him. The ugly motherfucker. Pardon my French. I just hate these devils, man. Right? And you got Trump and all that. You telling me that Yahweh Shem Yashai is not sending dreams and visions to them of them being in slavery? Yeah, they're probably seeing the Lord standing there while his men are whipping your ass, and they're probably seeing the men on the front line. They're probably seeing the apostles in their new form, in their bodies whooping your ass. They're probably seeing some of the prophets and the bishops and teachers of Great Millstone and the likewise camps whooping your ass. With spiritual power and all that. Okay, but the Lord is going to give that pride to you. So when we break you down, right? Like for example, I'll give an example for you, Jake. Yeah, Jake. When you pull a fine woman and she got the arrogance, and you humble her and you take her and you plow her, all right? There's a satisfying feeling there, isn't there? Obviously you're not hurting the woman. She's enjoying it. You're enjoying it. But there's that feeling, that satisfaction there because you humbled her. The same way Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to humble this bitch Edomite. All right. Okay, they might have that arrogancy at the moment because the Lord is keeping that there because it's going to be more fun whooping their ass and taking them down while they got that arrogance there, while they got that, while they got that feeling there that they can try and take on the Lord, man. They think they can take on Yahweh Shai. Fucking doolally, they're doolally in the head, man. Lord's going to break you devils down, man. Where's Psalm 92? Okay, let's go to KJV first. Psalm 92, verse 7. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. Okay? We're seeing that now. All right? And it's not destroyed forever yet, but once the Lord comes and returns and the beautiful chariots show themselves, all right? And the Lord is there, people are going to drop dead, have heart attacks. They're literally going to shit. They're going to have a bowel movement there and there while they're standing. It's going to be, a funny and disgusting display. People are going to have heart attacks, literal heart attacks. They listen, man. We're talking about the power of heaven and earth. Yahweh is going to send his son Yahweh Shai, man. All right. Watch the movie Independence Day when the chariots show up. But when the chariots return for real, it's going to be, this world is going to be destroyed forever, and America is going to be blown off the face of this earth. That will not be inhabited ever again. All right. Let's go to the NLT. Psalm 92, verse 7. Though the wicked sprout like weeds and evildoers flourish, they will be destroyed forever. All right? Let's go to, I think I've read all the scriptures, right? Yeah. Let's watch a little bit more and then we leave it there.
Fat Tuesday kiosk. Alright, let's go down here. See what else we can find here on the side. Man, you can even hear the crickets.
You said that earlier. Yes, you can hear the crickets. There's that saying, right? Crickets. When you cuss somebody out, or you've won an argument, or you've won a conversation or debate, what do you usually say as like as a hype, or your hype man would say right next to you? Crickets, crickets. You're not saying nothing, are you? All I can hear is crickets. And check this out: America is dying. Sin City is dying. All right, the small Sin City is dying, which is Vegas, and all of America is dying collectively, piece by piece by piece, city by city, town by town, city by city, state by state. Let's hear the crickets.
Louder than the voices out here. So quiet.
All right. So this is gonna be. Just imagine this place. If we're in this hell another year, right? Lord willing, we're not. Yahweh shall return soon. But if we are, hey, this time next year, if we are still in this hell, but I hope we're not. Abaratazal, we're not. Yahweh Shemeshah Ratazal, we're not. Hey, it's gonna be even worse. All right, even worse. All right. So I'm gonna leave it there now. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. And sideline note, For those of you that are not happy at seeing this, right, there's something wrong with you. This brings happiness to my heart. Today is a Saturday, right? The 25th of the hell is it? Today's the 25th of October. Salaki, I forgot the date, and I'll Google the date today. Okay, because time is going so fast, right? I Google the date. Today's a Saturday. I assume that this was footage from today. Salakia for that. I did that check earlier on. Okay, today's a Saturday, right? Those of you that see things like this, crack open a beer, man, and celebrate, toast, send it, praise Yahweh Hashem and have a beer. You know, I'll more than likely do something like that today. You know, if it's the Lord's will. But anyway, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yashai Bashem Rakapadash, Mawatha Bad Babal, and it is happening. Kwam Yashrala, Shalom.